students gather again on the steps of the South Building to support Landen Gambill. We have the latest.
Is she a traitor? How is it a Tar Heel is cheering along with the Cameron Crazies? We'll tell you why.
And the brain may hold clues to pinpoint those at higher risk for Alzheimer's, even with babies. We have the latest research.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
The controversy surrounding UNC student Landen Gambill is getting national attention, and students here at the university continue to rally behind her in support. Good evening, I'm Stephanie Mokpai.
And I'm Landon Dowdy. Gambill says UNC mishandled her sexual assault case. The university found the man she accused not guilty. Now, Gambill's the one facing a charge. Reporter Alex Giles has the latest.
Students and faculty gathered to show their support for Landen Gambill and to continue calling for reform of the university's sexual assault policy. Gambill took to the podium to speak about the policy and the honor court charge.
Because it is so important that everyone realize that this is not about me. I have been treated with great injustice, but there are so many other survivors who have been treated just as poorly as I have, and even worse.
The charge is producing questions about UNC's honor court. The court held a public forum to discuss the university's honor system and current sexual assault policy. Undergraduate Student Attorney General Amanda Claire Grayson declined for an on-camera interview, but gave us this statement.
A student will never be charged with an honor code violation for a good faith report of an honor code violation. Plain and simple.
Gambill supporter and UNC student Dylan Mott says this issue runs deeper than it may appear.
We're not trying to dismantle honor court. This isn't a conflict between Landen and honor court. This is a wider structural issue that is about institutionalized sexism on this campus and in this administration.
Gambill still disagrees with the charge being placed against her. She has no idea how she could be accused of intimidating her ex-boyfriend, the man she claims raped her.
And then I found out that it was my perpetrator saying that I was intimidating him or disparaging him publicly, which is impossible given that I've never said his name and that no one knows, who he is.
The honor court has not disclosed when the case against Gambill will be heard. In Chapel Hill, I'm Alex Giles.
We'll keep you posted on the latest Gambill news. Right now, Will Reimer joins us. Will, it is hard to look past the Maryland game tonight and not go ahead onto the Duke game this weekend. I know I'm excited.
Yeah, certainly hard not to look ahead to the Duke game, but every game for the Tar Heels is important, including tonight's game against Maryland. But the game Saturday means more to fans. What would it mean to get a Carolina victory against the Blue Devils?
That would be surreal, because this has been a bad senior year so far. We lost them in football. We got to do it in basketball. Can't give them everything.
I don't know. But I want them to win. I mean, we all want them to win.
We're going to run, and it'll probably be like 83-78 us.
I see us winning 77-74.
I feel something like 79-75 us.
Some bold predictions, Landon, but the Heels are getting better. Just how much better, we'll tell you later in sports.
All right, well, we look forward to the sports block. Thanks so much, Will.
Thanks, Phil. And no one can deny UNC and Duke have one of the biggest rivalries in college sports. But if you can believe it, some students are torn when it comes to the big game. Avery Harper talks to one UNC student who can't decide which shade of blue she loves most.
It's rare to find a Tar Heel who's gone cuckoo with the Crazies at Cameron. But sophomore Caroline Leland has done just that.
It's weird kind of being behind enemy lines.
Leland is a Robertson Scholar, a program that encourages collaboration between UNC and Duke students. She is one of a handful of students who attend both universities through the program. This semester, she's living at Duke, and her UNC friends have a new nickname for her.
They call me Dookie, and I don't think it's a compliment.
It's an academic pairing that makes basketball season anything but relaxing. Leland says she tried to keep it neutral at the last UNC Duke game by steering clear of both blues while she cheered.
I wore a white t-shirt.
Leland says her experience at both schools has been rewarding, and she wishes more people understood.
I do love both schools, and that's hard for people on both sides to accept.
This time around, Leland says she's rooting for the Heels. In Chapel Hill, I'm Avery Harper.
The General Assembly is thinking about taking the word education out of the state education lottery. Some representatives say the word education is misleading, that the lottery funding is just replacing money, not adding. They're also thinking about putting more restrictions on lottery advertising. Lottery officials think such restrictions could cut into the amount of money raised through play. In 2012, state colleges and universities received more than $43 million for need-based scholarships and financial aid from lottery funds. This year, they will get more than $73 million.
You may have seen some unfamiliar faces in your lecture halls last week. That's because the university sent 16 staff members to check on different classes to make sure that they were being taught. Provost Bruce Carney says the idea for the checks were part of that report by former Governor Jim Martin. Of course, it all has to do with the scandal surrounding no-show Afro-American Studies classes. 187 classes were selected at random. A few met in other locations, and one wasn't found. Officials say they're looking into that one.
If you're like most UNC students, you have high school memories of AP and IB classes. I know I do. The long hours studying and the 10-page papers are hard to forget, but the admissions office wants future students to know that there's no need to take such a heavy course load in high school. Jessica Marker reports.
Morehead scholar Libby Rodenbow is one of those students who filled her schedule with advanced classes in high school and says it had its benefits.
Some of those classes that I got out of, I don't think I would have had trouble in them, except that they would have been really tedious.
Admissions officers say students like Rodenbow are becoming much more common.
Students are stacking up more and more on advanced level classes such as AP classes. Some students are taking truly Herculean amounts of classes, some as many as 10 to 15.
Are students really benefiting from this once they get to Carolina? The Office of Undergraduate Admissions decided to conduct a study to find out. And what they found out about Carolina students might surprise you.
Any more than 5 advanced level classes such as AP, IB, or dual enrollment do not result in a significant increase in students' GPA during their first year here at Carolina.
That means that taking 5 AP classes is certainly better than taking just 1, but taking 10 APs is no better than taking 5. So how will these findings change the admissions process? Memory says there will be more focus on finding well-rounded students who pursue interests other than academics.
You know, in the past, we may have weighted their academic program a little more heavily. And in this case, for this coming year, with the research that we know, this is really liberating for us.
Rodenbow says she wasn't shocked by these findings.
I'm not terribly surprised. I think I have, having been in college for a couple years, I have definitely doubted the way I did things in high school.
Now that the admissions office doubts it too, future Tar Heels may feel free to focus more on their favorite sport or next audition. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jessica Marker.
Admissions officials say they plan to publicize these findings. How would you like to write something like this? That's what many PhD students face.
But is it all worth it? Some educators call it hazing. That's coming up.
Connect with us online by liking the Carolina Week Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Carolina Week UNC.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Alzheimer's, you probably think of older people, but a UNC study shows there might be indicators predicting future Alzheimer patients and at an age younger than you might think. Health and Science reporter Courtney Kopetz has more.
UNC psychiatry professor Rebecca Nickmeyer wants to know when changes in the brain, like those associated with Alzheimer's, begin.
We wanted to get as close to that point as possible and actually look at genetic effects in the newborn brain.
Nickmeyer took brain scans of a couple hundred babies who had gene traits associated with common mental disorders. In babies with the gene trait associated with Alzheimer's, she found the babies' brains, in some ways, looked like those found in adult Alzheimer's patients.
I don't want to give the impression that just because something might be present at birth, that it's not amenable to being changed later.
Nickmeyer says by tracking how babies' brains develop, doctors might better detect signs of future mental disorders, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and depression, not just Alzheimer's. Scientists created this image by combining brain scans of those babies most at risk for Alzheimer's. These blue spots you see at the bottom show a decreased size in the region most associated with memory. Similar decreases are seen in adults with Alzheimer's disease. Nickmeyer plans to track these changes over time to better see how the brain develops.
Every time you take your kid into the doctor, you do a height and weight check, and you look at them on the growth chart and you say, okay, if they're deviating from this, then we need to, take a deeper look.
Nickmeyer plans to check in with the children over time to see how their brain development relates to memory, IQ, and language skills. In Chapel Hill, I'm Courtney Kopetz.
You may not know it, but there's a time capsule buried right here at UNC, and it's about time to open it. The capsule is buried underneath this monument in Polk Place. The class of 1988 buried it, and they'll open it this fall during homecoming weekend when the class celebrates its 25th reunion. Where it is, the class of 2013 is thinking about doing the same thing. We'll let you know.
V-Day Carolina held its annual performance of Eve Ensler's Vagina Monologues this past weekend.
Women secretly love to talk about their vaginas.
The play's goal? To inspire women by sharing personal stories of empowerment and violence against women. The all-woman cast included our very own Carolina Week anchor, Avery Harper. Company Carolina and V-Day Carolina are contributing their ticket sales to the Orange County Rape Crisis Center and other domestic assault prevention programs. Orange County Health Department officials say they still don't know what caused the norovirus outbreak. It sent 85 UNC students to the emergency room last week. Students complained of nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and fevers. The illness can last 24 to 60 hours. The most common way to catch the virus is eating contaminated food and through person-to-person contact.
For generations, PhD students topped off their education by writing a doctoral dissertation. But some are saying that tradition needs to change, and the requirement is little more than educational hazing. John Daniels reports.
Jessica Myrick is a PhD student in the UNC School of Journalism. She's in the process of writing her dissertation.
It's your, the cherry on top of the pie for your entire degree.
But an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education suggests the process takes too long, even calling the requirement educational hazing. Head of the School of Journalism's PhD program, Francesca Dillman-Carpentier, disagrees.
The idea of the dissertation being a very, very large book that it takes somebody 4 to 5 years just in itself to complete, I think is a little bit too blanket of a statement.
Assistant Professor Daniel Crease teaches PhD classes in the school, and he shares Carpentier's sentiment.
I just think that there is a considerable degree of variation that already exists within dissertations that the article doesn't always capture.
The article criticizes dissertations like this because they can take years to write and can be hard to understand. However, there are dissertations like this that can take about a year to write and can be broken down into smaller articles. Carpentier says the article overlooks that. Despite the debate, Myrick looks forward to finishing her dissertation and becoming a professor.
I think it's a really worthwhile pursuit, but lots of up and downs, and I'm just really glad that I'm close to the end and the final part of the roller coaster ride.
And for now, PhD students will still have to write dissertations to get their degrees. In Chapel Hill, I'm John Daniels.
The long-awaited Mellow Mushroom is finally open on West Franklin Street. Construction setbacks delayed the opening by more than 3 months. After closing 8 years ago, Mellow Mushroom opens its doors in Chapel Hill again this week. But not everything in this colorful restaurant is new. The owner is the same, and he kept relics from the old restaurant like this Carolina-themed statue. With one new pizza restaurant opening up on Franklin Street, another one closes its doors. Pepper's Pizza, one of Franklin Street's oldest pizzerias, closed on Monday night. Owner David Pepper Harvey says he had to close because of declining business during the last 3 years. Harvey says students are choosing on-campus dining options instead of eating out on Franklin Street. Aaron Nelson of the Chapel Hill Chamber of Commerce says other downtown restaurant owners are saying the same thing. Peppers has been on Franklin Street for 26 years.
And Franklin Street isn't the only street that's looking a little different these days. If you're headed down East Main Street toward Carborough in the next few weeks, you may want to take a different route. That's because construction on this new parking deck here at 300 East Main Street in Carborough is closing the road during the day. It's a part of Carborough's first hotel, a Hamptons Inn and Suites. A few years ago, it would have been illegal to build anything higher than 5 stories tall. Well, we didn't get any snow. I know they definitely got snow up in Maryland and those northern states. Thank God we didn't, but it's still cold out, Landon, and it's March. What's going on?
I don't know, but spring break is just around the corner, and I hope Katie McGee has some good news and warm weather for us. That up next.
Ann Doak. Ian Donnelly. Kirsty Lynn Duthitt.
You were supposed to make a right, but you made a left. And it's okay, you found your way. On a personal note, as I was counseling the two of you,
body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Katie McGee, and welcome back to Carolina Week. The big news story with weather right now is all of this wind we've been experiencing. If you've been driving in the past couple of hours, you've definitely felt your car jerk around. I know I have. We are seeing wind advisory right now for our entire viewing area. That's been in effect from 6 a.m. this morning through midnight tonight, and we are expecting sustained winds from 10 to 25 miles per hour with some dangerous gusts up to 45 miles per hour. That has also caused some power outages in our state, especially in Beaufort County. So make sure you have your safety package at hand, filled with flashlights, extra batteries, water, and canned goods just in case. Better safe than sorry. Now breaking down the next couple of hours here in Chapel Hill, around 8 p.m. we see temperatures at 43 with those cloudy skies persisting. However, that as expected to clear out throughout the evening. Around midnight we see temperatures at 39, and then 8 a.m. we'll see temperatures at 37 with beautiful sunny skies finally in store for us. Looking at the current satellite image, we can see all of this cloud mass in association with what is being called Winter Storm Saturn. That's what's dumped about a foot of snow to our north. However, luckily in central North Carolina, we can see we've been experiencing relatively clear skies these past couple of hours and no precipitation today. Looking at the radar also, we can see this low pressure system circulating counterclockwise, which is dropping all of that rain and also heavy snow. Again, we're here experiencing no rain and no precipitation in Chapel Hill. Now looking at the current satellite image and surface map, we can see again these low pressure systems, and it is showing some green, but that's just precipitation up to our above the system. We are not experiencing any precipitation and are not expecting any through the remainder of the night. Now watch this low pressure system throughout tonight. You can see it start to move off course, again leaving us with all of that moisture aloft. No rain expected tonight, and we will see all of that snow still persisting up to our northwest. Now looking ahead to tomorrow, again you can see Saturn slowly but surely starting to move off as we here in central North Carolina finally start to experience some sun. It has been a while. Now looking ahead to just tonight, again we can see those clearing skies, temperatures in the mid-30s. However, we are expecting sustained winds from about 10 to 15 miles per hour and wind gusts only up to 25 miles per hour. So definitely not as severe as we experienced today, but again that wind advisory is still in effect until midnight tonight. Now looking ahead at tomorrow, finally sunny skies in store for us. Again, winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, not as severe as we're experiencing right now, but definitely a slight breeze to make that high temperature of 54 feel just a little chillier. Also looking ahead, this Saturday, Battle of the Blues. Duke takes on Chapel Hill at 9 p.m. tip-off. We are expecting temperatures to be around 45 with clear skies throughout the night. So that way by 11 p.m. when the game starts to wrap up, we can expect temperatures to be in the low 40s to upper 30s. Now, spring break finally starts this Friday. We're expecting beautiful skies, clear skies, sunny skies across the board as we see temperatures a little warmer to our west, Charlotte 56, and then Wilmington to our east, temperatures around 54. Nothing deviating too far from the mid-50s. So we are expecting a very warm, clean spring break starting off. Looking at our 5-day forecast, again, Thursday and Friday, we can see temperatures in the mid-50s, finally sunny skies. And then we are expecting a very significant warm-up into this weekend. Temperatures at 65 and 68 Sunday and Monday with a chance of rain. And also don't forget, sadly, it is time to spring forward 1 hour this Saturday. So definitely make sure you wind your clocks back. Luckily it's spring break, so no real pressure there, but still a little earlier.
We lose an hour of sleep.
Yeah, yep. This is the rough one.
I'm glad you told me. I could have missed it.
I think I would have missed it. I slept right through it there.
And at least it's getting warmer. Yes, and the Duke game. So, oh wow, right after that.
I know. I can't wait for that warm weather you're talking about, though.
Oh my goodness, it's about time. Really.
The wind today was too much. Walking forward, my hair goes one way, my body goes the other way.
Oh my gosh, make sure you have your brush on you. Except it's supposed to rain Monday, so that's going to be a little bit of a damper on our warm weather.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Katie.
The basketball team's on fire. Is it time to start talking about championships?
We'll answer that when Carolina Week returns.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red State. Blue State. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown. Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty. Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Will Reimer. Weather's supposed to heat up, but the men's basketball team is already on fire. The Eagles have won 5 straight games, 4 of them by double digits. like Sunday's 21-point drubbing against Florida State. But it's still too early to say national championship.
The Heels have improved a lot the last few weeks, but Marcus Page says they're not done getting better.
We've taken a lot of great strides these last couple weeks through ACC play, and we still have a lot of room to go.
The past 5 wins have been easy for the Heels, but Coach Roy Williams says his team isn't as tough as it needs to be.
We're not going to win many brawls. You know, we're basketball players and we're cute and all that kind of stuff.
His team features a player 6'5" playing out of position at power forward. PJ Harrison says the Heels can make up the height difference by focusing on intangibles.
Just playing together and playing with heart and playing smart. Those are the 3 main things that we can do to be a great team.
Great? Page says the Heels could do better than that.
The improvement that we hopefully can keep building on, there's no telling what this team will be able to do.
Carolina plays Maryland later tonight, but the real test could come Saturday when the Heels host the Blue Devils.
It's ACC tournament time for women's basketball. The 3rd-seeded Tar Heels are headed to Greensboro following one of their best regular seasons in recent years. The Heels finished the season 26-5, their best regular season record since the 2008-2009 season. A pair of first-team All-ACC players lead the Heels. Senior Tiara Ruffin-Pratt leads Carolina in scoring, assists, and steals. Selena McDaniel is the only freshman on the All-Conference team. She's also the ACC Rookie of the Year. Carolina has a bye and will play either Virginia or Boston College on Friday. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, sure, but the baseball Diamond's been pretty kind to the Heels so far this season. Carolina was 10-0 before Davidson came to town yesterday. The Wildcats didn't put up much of a fight. Heels beat Davidson 10-2. Carolina scored half of its runs in the 3rd inning. Colin Moran started off the inning with a single to send Corey Dunbar home. And then look out. This wild pitch coming right here gave Chaz Frank time to score 2. Sky Bolt singled to bring Moran home, making it 3-0 Heels. Then Cody Stubbs came to the plate, and he hit the team's first homer of the season. Carolina added insurance runs in the 5th, 7th, and 8th innings. The Diamond Heels are 11-0 for the first time since the 2000 squad won its first 21 games. Carolina opens up conference play this weekend at Wake Forest. So, Landon, that's 11 in a row for the baseball team and 5 in a row for the basketball team.
Well, let's hope that we can keep all these winning streaks ahead and moving forward, especially on Saturday for the Duke game.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thanks so much, Will.
Thanks, Will.
I know we are all counting down the days till spring break. I just want to head somewhere warm. I don't know about you, Sefe.
I'm right there with you. And we'll find out where UNC students are headed for vacation when we come back.
Call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. And if you have questions about this program, write to us at Carolina Week, Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Two days. That's all that separates us from the start of spring break. And according to the U.S. News, college students are heading back to tropical locations this break.
Yep, that's right, like Miami Beach, Cancun, and the Bahamas. But let's take a look at how some UNC students are spending their breaks.
The first weekend, I'm going to a wedding. I'm going to my friend's wedding.
I'm going to the beach with my sorority sister, so that's bound to be a ratchet time.
Writing a 15-page research paper on Black Muslims.
I'm going home. I'm from Sarasota, Florida, so I'm going to just hang out with my friends and family and go to the beach, go on the boat, typical spring break stuff.
We're going on a cruise. We're leaving from Florida, going to the Bahama Islands.
I'm pumped for spring break because I'm getting a chance to go down to the Honduras and do a mission trip with a lot of my close friends.
I'm going with a group of my friends to Miami on a road trip, and we're going to go stay at one of our friends' houses and just kind of relax for the week.
I think I may join some of their plans.
I know. I hope I could just sleep for the whole spring break, but we'll see. You said you're going somewhere warm?
I am.
Okay.
Caribbean. I'm sneaking away.
Okay.
Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.